Want to save more money in 2025 without feeling deprived? Of course you do. We break down the best budgeting strategies, money-saving apps and inflation-proof tricks to help you reach your financial goals. Joining us now is Dr. Steve Enticott from CIA Tax. Good to see you, my friend. Let's talk the 50-30-20 rule. Still works in 2025?
Well, the 50-30-20 rule, we've got a better one, the ticker money guide, but let's just play with the 50-30-20 rule. So the 50 was 50% for, your absolute needs, the things that have to be paid, your rent, your power bill, your mobile phone, whatever it might be. And then you had the 30, which was, discretionary spending. And I'm not sure there's been a lot of discretionary spending going on in the cost of living crisis that we've all been enduring. And then you had 20% to put towards investment. So it was a good model.
Yeah.
Cost of living can throw a lot of that out at the moment because there's been no discretion. It's just survive at the moment. I like the ticker money guide. We've been using that for many, many years, Mike. The ticker money guide was 30% for
your main spends, again, your
rent and mortgage, where you've got to live. That's right. The other 30 was for,
again, that discretionary spending,
the bills and everything
groceries.
else they must have. And 10%, I always said, put 10% aside.
Straight in the piggy bank. We're putting that in our savings.
Absolutely. And then 20% to enjoy, or, sorry, it's not 20%, whatever's left over, I should say, to enjoy, to do what you want, discretion, because we do need to enjoy our lives.
Yeah.
But things alter. That's an ideal paradigm, whether it be the 50-30-20 or the ticker money guide. They're all ideal paradigms in an ideal world.
Yes.
Now, what we've seen is an inflation blowout after COVID. We've all felt it. Inflation got out of control. That meant costs went up, income really went with it. And those typical norms, 50-30-20, whatever it might be, they've pretty much been thrown out the window, but they haven't changed. And that's the important thing. There are periods in time where the ticker money guide, where the 50-30-20 rule will get ripped up.
Yep.
If you're just made redundant, it's just straight to survival. Okay, so they still work. Okay.
Well, let's move
until they don't.
Well, that's the thing. And you and I have talked about boom and bust before, so no, not losing hope. But what are the best ways to automate savings and build these emergency funds if, in fact, that does happen?
Yeah, and that's a key point. Having that emergency fund, so your investments always come after. So that 20 or the ticker money guide of 10, that's building up investments, but that's after you've built up an emergency fund. So when you get back into the boom time, or you're still holding a good position and things are going okay, you really want, let's just use the 50 rule, 50% to cover your living costs, that's rent or mortgage, whatever it might be. That 30 to cover the the discretionary spending in life, whether I go to the theatre, restaurant, whatever it might be.
Uber Eats.
And then put 20% into investment. But before you put your money into investment, that 20 or the 10 from the ticker money guide, you need to build a buffer. Now that buffer should be 3, 6, 12 months, depending how risk averse you are, to cover those compulsory costs. So before you invest, you should be building up cash. That cash should be in a cash saver account, a bonus account that's earning some interest as well. So when you do lose your job, or if a health issue comes along, that you know that it's not panic stage straight away.
So how do we automate that experience though? What have you witnessed?
Yeah, best thing is as soon as your money comes into your account, whether you do it manually or not, you want them just to go off to different, I call them buckets.
Yep.
You want the emergency fund bucket, you want the investment fund bucket, you want your essentials bucket, you want your paycheck of $1,000, whatever it might be, come in, just gets bang, 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 allocated into those. You can just do it yourself, or I'm sure you can organise.
Your assistance with the emergency fund has saved me once or twice with the doctors, unexpected things that need to be spent. Dentist, same thing. So what are the inflation-proof saving strategies for young professionals that you might recommend?
Yeah, it's risk on. So the younger you are, the riskier you take. If you're older, you need funds, you don't need ups and downs in the market. You generally put money into a safer environment. Now that safer environment might be only earning you 2, 3, 4, 5%, and inflation's running at a higher rate. And that 2, 3, 4, 5% you've got to pay tax on. So it's really only 1, 2, 3%.
Right.
So you are losing to inflation. But when you're younger, you've got a greater chance of things may go down. But over your lifetime, they will probably bounce back up. Otherwise, the whole world's blown up and it doesn't really matter. So higher risk to stay ahead of that inflation, and in particular, inflation in after-tax dollars as well. So if you earn 8% and you pay 3% in tax, your real earnings 5. Inflation's running at 6. You're still going back.
That's the trick, is understanding.
So you need to chase the after-tax return.
Understanding the actual amount that you are getting.
Absolutely.
I think with a lot of, which a lot of people might not.
Yep.
How can people cut expenses without sacrificing their lifestyle? It's a big one when things are in a bust stage. People do want to try and feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I think it's a choice to be made as well.
Yeah.
So, I've always called it the Dr. Steve challenge, if you like. Really, you can go to the family with a loaf of bread and a packet of cheese slices for $5 down your local beach, lake, park, whatever it might be, and have a wonderful day. For $5, you can have a great day. To me, that is a wonderful day. I'm an accountant as well, but I enjoy fellowship, I enjoy people, I enjoy being outside.
Yeah.
And if that's cost me $5 for a loaf of bread and a pack of cheese slices, the rest becomes choices. Okay, no, but I want to go to a restaurant, or I want to buy my lunch, or I want to do these things. They are choices. So I think you've got to look at your baseline. You can pull down costs, but maybe look at your mental health as well.
Yeah, very much.
Where am I having a good time? Down the beach, what's that going to cost me? $5 for the day, Dr. Steve says. Tell me you don't have a great day when you're down there at the beach for the day. So I think you've got to really look at where your happiness is coming from. We do at times have to cut our expenses. We certainly have in the last few months, few years, whatever it might be. But it doesn't stop us having fun.
No, I think that's a really good piece of advice, especially when pints of beer are now almost $20 and restaurants are charging what they charge. But Dr. Steve, as always, thank you for joining me on the program.